Hogwarts Legacy has finally released for everyone, and while journalists are still angry about it being so hyped up, all of their negative articles did absolutely nothing for them because the user scores have released and nearly everyone loves it, and everyone is praising it, saying this is the Harry Potter game we have all been waiting for. I have a bunch of different things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So, looking at Metacritic, all of the platforms have fantastic user scores. As you can see, the highest is the PlayStation 5 version at a 9.1. Then we go to the Xbox Series X version, which is at a 9.0. And then we go on to the PC, which is at an 8.5. Now, I have noticed with the PC version, the more negative reviews, some of them are valid. Some of them are saying the PC version has some technical problems. Graphics just aren't as great as they were expecting, and when you put it to Ultra, and you get those good graphics, the FPS really drops. There are some technical problems with it, but obviously not so many that it really brought the user score down a bunch. Now it's just on par with the critic score, but with the PC version, I have also seen quite a few reviews posted of people just trying to trash this game and bring down the score. They are saying nothing about the gameplay itself. They are just simply saying that it's fan service, and you know what? Only, adult children want to play this game because they're not looking at the situation and the harm that they could do by playing it. So there are some people here definitely trying to review bomb it and bring that score down for, not legitimate reasons. But most people who are taking the time to review this game are loving it. Heading on over to the score, it's a 9.0 right now. It has 911 positives, 21 mixed, and 72 negatives. Almost all of these positives are 10 out of 10s, some 9 out of 10s. People are saying things like perfect game. This is the game of the year. There are so many things about this that is amazing. And I definitely think that this title is going to be a runner for game of the year. There's just a lot of titles that are supposed to release in 2023 that we don't know about that could definitely steal its spotlight. Something like Starfield. I personally don't even think it's going to come out this year since they still haven't given a release date, and we've heard that it's kind of in development hell, but right now this is looking like a solid game of the year contender. People are saying things like, this game is a masterpiece. I've played other Harry Potter games and none of them come close to as good as this one is. It looks especially good on the PlayStation 5. If you're on the fence between getting a Series X or PS5, I would highly recommend going with the PS5, especially for this game. I really love the way that the controller plays into this, just, praising the title. Somebody gave it a 9 and said, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. The films are okay, albeit skewed towards children and full of plot holes, but mindless fluff nonetheless, and I've never played a Harry Potter game before. Meanwhile, my wife is a huge fan, and so I have bought her a copy to play on PS4. They talk about how they got a deluxe edition and, he's playing it on his PS5 and he thinks the combat is excellent, the world feels alive and vibrant, and everything just works very well. And this is what we should see with major releases. AAA games should be releasing like this. While, yes, I've heard about a few bugs, a few glitches, I personally haven't faced any besides like a contrast issue where I just had to restart the game and then it was fixed. And this is how a game should launch. Nothing is going to be perfect. Of course, there's going to be minor problems, but there's not like game-breaking bugs and so many that it makes you want to put down the game and not come back to it for a few months. We're not looking at like a cyberpunk here. I'm so glad that this game launched in an almost perfect state. That is what matters, and more games should release like this. I'm sick of seeing things like the Cyberpunks and the Forspokens. Beautiful game, very addicting and easy to get lost in. I definitely agree. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you are going to adore this game. They throw so much lore at you, and the world and the storytelling is so rich, and all the characters are pretty interesting. I do think that you might have a slight problem with it if you don't like Harry Potter, because the first few hours are definitely dialogue and lore heavy, and if you just want to be a wizard zapping around, you have to really power through that element. But where I like Harry Potter, I've enjoyed it, and most of these people have as well. And like I mentioned, there are some negative reviews being left, but almost all of them are zeros, just saying that this game is like the worst thing ever. And of course, there's a lot of people here who are just trying to review bomb it. Of course, when I see, threes and fours, I definitely believe them, but I don't see any way that this game would deserve a straight up zero. The zeros are saying things like dull writing, dead in the face characters, boring missions. If this would have came out in 2012, maybe it would have been something. If you're a fan of the franchise, then you might enjoy it, but otherwise just a mediocre RPG. People are also saying things like mission styles that do not innovate in any way, repetitive story, not an innovative combat system, fail, atrocious game, barely runs, full of plot holes and stories that make no sense, glitches everywhere, combat is terrible. I have not heard many people at all complain about glitches, and the few that have said, oh, all I had to do was restart my game and they were fixed, or oh, I just, didn't talk to this NPC and it was fixed, or the next time that I tried it, it was fine. So I don't really know where all of these complaints are coming from, besides maybe they just, want to bring the score down. And like I've mentioned in other videos, the journalist and activist boycotts surrounding this game have clearly failed because, of course, users are absolutely adoring the title, and Hogwarts Legacy breaks Twitch record amid streamer boycott. I mentioned this in another video, but it did hit the record for most live viewers for a single player game ever on the platform. It got all the way up to 1.3 million, and honestly, I'm sure that over the weekend we are going to see that number come pretty close, if not beat out its previous record from Tuesday's early release day. Only time will tell, but as you can see, this game is doing fantastic. Everybody seems to love it. Of course, there's still a few haters. I never expected them to completely go away, but the reviews are really, really solid for this title. Viewership for this game is absolutely insane, and so far it is looking like a major, major win. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.